What is going on, fine folks? Mac here, let me straighten you guys out a little bit. You guys probably have noticed that I've been gone for a little bit. Whatever viewers I've had anyways, probably noticed that I've been gone for a little whiles. And that's mainly because I've been, I got a new vehicle and lost my lost my weird little connection thing that I used to do these car vlogs with. And just haven't really had it on my mind immediately to go ahead and grab a new one and whatnot. So yeah, finally this weekend was working and stopped by the store, realized I needed to grab something like this to continue on my car vlogging, my vehicle vlogging and stuff. So that's what I did. I went ahead and grabbed a new one, and here we are, finally back after, it's been a while since I posted. I can't remember exactly how long it's been since I posted, but yeah, it's been a while since I've posted. I mean, what's going on, guys? How's everything been going? Hope everybody's been good. Hope everything's been kosher. I don't know about this new car, about this vlogging one that I just recently got. It doesn't seem like it wants to work as well as I hoped it would. I think I'm gonna have to go get a new one, a different one. I'm not liking this setup. I got it from Sam's Club, and I'm not really liking it so much. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be a good fit 100%. But anyways, I digress. Going back to everything I was talking about and whatnot. I can't remember the last thing I was really talking about. What the premise of what I was talking about was either. But yeah, most of my videos are just, you know, some friendly neighborhood life lessons that I've learned over the years, and some insights and stuff. I mean, you don't have to take what I say at any value whatsoever. I know what I say is probably not important to some folks out there, but if any folks do find what I say as a value and stuff in these vlogs, I really hope that you take it as some good positive life lesson changes and whatnot, and go forward with your life knowing that you've watched this video and actually found something that you could implement in your daily life as a change for positive growth in your life and stuff. Because there's a lot of negativity out in this world today, man. Let me tell you, there's just so much negativity out there, and I know that there's probably some better coaches / mentors out there that probably have much better advice than me, or can word things a lot better than I can in a way that you can understand it and stuff. But hell, I'm just doing these type of vlogs and stuff for me and things about I noticed. And I guess the advantage I have compared to some of these, you know, famous self-help coaches and things of that nature, the advantage that I can bring to the table is that I'm basically a normal fella. You know, I'm a normal guy. I don't I put my pants on the same way as most people do. I probably make just about the same as most people do, you know, monetarily speaking. You know, probably have the same amount of influence around a small group of friends as most people. I'm a normal person, if you will. I mean, my wife may say I'm not a normal person. She might say I'm batshit nuts or whatever, but that's besides the point. I already know I'm crazy compared to some of the other family members of mine and stuff. But that's within a select group, within the select area. Everybody else just sees me as a normal guy walking down the street, not as a famous person or somebody of influence or somebody who's wealthy or anything. You know, they look at me and they see, you know, somebody who typically has worked and typically works the same way that they do, and just overall has the same kind of what would I word it? Social etiquette, whatever, social type etiquette as a normal person. I'm basically, if you would consider what wealthy is, I'm not wealthy, but I do consider myself very well off, and And I think that's what everybody's aiming for, mainly is aiming for. I mean, of course, everybody would like to be rich or whatever, but what is really being rich mean? Well, then what does that really entail? And how does one person go from, making, let's say, low, $30,000 a year to making almost six figures a year? I mean, would that be considered, if you're used to making $30,000 and then suddenly get into positions to where you're suddenly making, let's say, $95,000 a year, would you consider yourself to be a rich person? A wealthy person, or would you consider yourself to be a well-off person? I don't really know. It just depends on what your life goals and stuff are. Now, I'm not aiming to be famous or whatever. I don't care about fame or anything of that nature. I really could care less if people know who I am, and I don't want to be on some damn Forbes magazine, or not Forbes magazine, some of them news hotline with the latest scandal of mine or whatever. I mean, I hope I never come across that type of stuff in my personal life anyways. But I don't want to be, seen as somebody as famous. I just want to be seen as somebody who's just normal and who has a few things they may want to say when something pops up into their mind and whatnot. And if it takes off to go whatever and stuff, I mean, it does, but it doesn't mean I'm going to stop my day to my normal routine, my normal job and stuff. I in case some of you guys didn't know, I'm a wastewater operator. I have licensing in wastewater operations. Also have licensing in water treatment operations across 2 different states here in the South. And what that all entails is that I work in sewer plants, for crying out loud. I'm a pooper scooper, if you will. And I know a lot of people are like, there's no way in hell I was ever working in a sewer plant. Let me tell you, when I first had to consider working in a sewer plant, I would have been along with probably 99.9% of all other Americans out there in saying there's no way in hell I would ever work in a sewer plant. But back in 2016, I had to make some life changes, and let me tell you, ever since I made those life changes, it has been for the best. I have truly found my calling in life as a wastewater operator. Now the unfortunate part, I hate to say it, most of these labor jobs that you guys see out there with guys fixing water lines or sewer lines, going out to lift stations, sanitation, your street departments, all them other crews that you see out there making your town, your municipality, your county, or whatever function the way it needs to, they're not making a killing. That's just the cold hard truth. I mean, it's just like teachers. They're not making a killing either. Now, I believe they should be. I believe those type of professions are more noble than any other thing. Being a teacher is a noble thing that honestly should be paid more and stuff. But in all actuality, there are certain services out there that you right now as a society cannot use without, or cannot function without. If all of a sudden, especially our society, especially since we're in a first world society and stuff, if all of a sudden all the water treatment facilities or wastewater facilities in a major city, let's say Atlanta or Columbia here in South Carolina, or New York City or Miami, places of that nature, if those facilities stopped functioning the way they were intended to, there would be a lot of death going on, either from disease of E. coli infection, E. coli outbreaks of the water sources and stuff. There'd be all kinds of problems if you did not have those type of critical infrastructure things. Now, this is just me being a little biased, but I believe my job is one of the most important jobs there is here in the U.S. This is just me being impartially biased about it, because this is my career, and I full-heartedly put value in my career, and I full-heartedly believe that I put value into my career. And that's what I really wanted to talk to you guys about today, is have you found value in what you do? And what I mean by that is, I don't mean just monetary value. Okay, I do not mean just monetary value. Now, that is a great incentive. That is a great incentive to go to a position, to a job somewhere and stuff. But what I have found over the past, over 5 to 6 years of working in this field, is that I can honestly go anywhere I'd really want to with my credentials and stuff, and probably find much higher paying positions in different places. Now of course would require me to uproot my family and stuff and get ready to move somewhere else and stuff, which is something I'm not willing to do, but I'm just saying the option is out there for me. However, I really haven't cared about looking into those options, mainly for two reasons, okay? One is not the monetary, and neither one of them is money. Now, money has been an important factor into why I went to a different company and stuff, but overall, it became a different type of thing, all right? So previously, in my previous job as a wastewater operator and stuff, I came into an intermediate level operator. I'm one of the younger operators, honestly. I'm under the age of 30, which is, in my area, from my experience, I can count on one hand how many people have the licensing I do. And I think that's probably like 4, including myself, that is under the age of 30 right now, that have the same licensing as I do, the highest level of wastewater operation. Now, water might be a little different, but whatever. Anyways, I was over at my previous municipality, and there were several things that went wrong, not with the people. I mean, I enjoyed working with the people so much, but the policies that the council and stuff decided to change and whatnot, and there's a few things I disagreed with, and honestly, I did not see myself moving up or being challenged anytime soon in that that one facility. Now, the truth is that most wastewater operators and stuff are going to be around the same facility for a long period of time. Most operators I've seen, probably, they may have changed facilities maybe once or twice, but most of the time they're in the same facility year in, year out. The facility I've taken over was one of those cases where operator, she was brought in, I believe in 93, and she stayed there up until the point where she was about to get ready to retire, and my company decided to, the municipality decided to privatize, and that's where I came along. I get back into that whole entire crazy backstory or whatever, but from what I've discovered is that I most likely will not be leaving where I'm at anyways, for 2 distinct reasons, okay? One, I enjoy the people I work with. I enjoy the clientele I've worked with. I enjoy my team members. I enjoy my leadership and stuff. I really do. I really do. I'm thinking that that they are holding their intention with me is to constantly keep striving me to go forward and stuff, which is something that as a younger person, as a millennial generation, you need to constantly see progression in a way that's that you can actually see and quantify, not something that you hear, oh, just give it 5 years and you will eventually maybe make it up to a senior level position or whatever, no, nothing like that. No, I'm talking about that they're constantly asking me to, I wouldn't say do more, but constantly trying to see if I could do more. And that's the key. I mean, I'll be the first one to admit to them that I'm overwhelmed and stuff, and they fully understand that. And that's where I feel as though if it's not like one of them situations where a lot of typical employers go, just do it. You can do it. Just it needs to get done anyways. Go ahead and do it. That's why I feel as though a lot they pile on a lot of responsibilities and stuff when a lot of these team members aren't ready, and it eventually just wears them down, and they're not listening to the team members, and eventually it gets to the point where they're not even looking at the money anymore. They're just looking to get out. And I can attest this because I have seen several people to where they they're making buku's amount of money. I'm talking about that. I'll flat out say it. It's my wife with I think like a company or 2 companies ago, or it's probably the same situation. I can't quite remember which company it was, but where to the point where she was making a lot of money. She for the field she was in and stuff, she was making, I would say, getting close to almost 6 figures a year, which is unheard of in that type of field that she's in. But man, she was not home a lot, and by not home a lot, I mean she would be getting up at like 4 a.m. and not coming back home until like almost 11 p.m. Sometimes maybe even later. And then there'll be some days where she wasn't even at home for the damn night, and where it was just more safer for her to go sleep in the damn work vehicle than it would be to actually travel back home and whatnot. And yes, she was making plenty of money, and you would think that everybody says this is like, I would always move for the right price and stuff, but eventually that wore her out. I mean, I was starting to feel for her physical health and stuff, and it got to the point where I had to step in and basically tell her, no more. You're gonna have to start looking for somewhere else and stuff. You're gonna have to start considering doing something else, because this is not gonna fly with this. It doesn't matter how much money you're making if you can't really enjoy life in a way that is positive on you, then there's no point of you to be working that many fucking hours, right? And that's the case with a lot of people that I see with that are motivated by money and stuff, is that they put this monetary value on themselves, right? They put this monetary value on themselves, which your time is worth money. Don't get me wrong, your time is worth money and stuff. But life is not all about money. And eventually you are going to wear your ass out to the point where you are straining yourself, you're straining your own relationship, and you're just not plain happy with what you're doing. And then eventually you're going to end up falling out of love with the career you're in and wanting to move on to something else. And for a lot of people, especially those like in the nursing field or any kind of medical field and stuff, it's hard for them to try finding a different type of career from going from a medical, especially when a lot of their background or a lot of their education is very highly specific to radiology, nursing, kinesiology, all this other wonderful medical fields and stuff. Most of these degrees in those fields are very specific for it. In other words, if you're not working in that field, why do you even have that degree, pretty much? And by the time they get that degree, they're so far in debt and they're so used to having that much money and stuff, they're not truly happy enough to be able to take a pay cut and try starting over somewhere else and stuff. And they end up, and I'm telling you, you've probably all seen it and stuff. I mean, you've probably seen it here recently. There's a shortage in nurses and EMTs, paramedics. There's a shortage in almost every medical field right now. It's mainly because they were so fucking worked hard to death because of COVID and all the policy bullshit that they've had to put up with, is that eventually there was a tipping point for a lot of these people saying, the money's not fucking worth it if I can't keep my sanity. If I can't see my family without, me going and then falling asleep and then having to go back to work, if I can't even see my kids grow up, if I can't see my husband, my spouse, or any other, there's no point for me to make this amount of money if I can't even enjoy life with it. Now that goes into a whole entire spiral thing. And in other words, they're not seeing the value they put towards that career anymore. What I mean by that is that they are not seeing how they're working 18 plus hours, 24 plus hours, 48 hours, etc. I don't know, some crazy ass schedules out there. They are not seeing how themselves working that many times because of corporate policy is them adding value to that job. They don't see how they're making an impact in that. You know, it impacted anybody's lives, really. They're just seeing numbers on a piece of paper being cranked out. They're not seeing a sociological or like a physiological positive impact in their well-being in those career. And that's what I wanted to bring this attention to you guys, because today's a Saturday. I typically don't work on Saturdays. I mean, unless I'm really on call and stuff. And today, the weekend operator called me. He said there was a problem with something. And he called me a little bit this morning. He called me that there was a problem with something. He doesn't know what to do. And I immediately was like, all right, I'm on my way. He's like, no, you just tell me what to do, man. You just tell me what to do. I'll see what I can do. And I told him, I said, nah, man, this is something, you're just the weekend operator. You have other facilities you're going to have to go to today. I'm only 30 minutes out, and I'm able to spend my time over there doing it because this is my plant, the way I consider it my facility. And I truly believe that I need to have eyes on it and stuff. You're a weekend checker. You're not a Monday through Friday guy. So it's not that you're not adding value, but I believe that I'll be able to fix and solve this problem a lot easier and have a peace of mind for me knowing that it was done the way it needs to be done, right? He didn't take offense to it. He fully understood. It's like he fully understood. He's a weekend operator. He is familiar with my facility and stuff, but he is not as fully detailed with this facility as I am. So I know all the subtle little nuances and stuff that he probably was not aware of. He fully understood that. I mean, he took no offense to it or anything. He just said, alrighty, well, I'll be in tomorrow to check, and you just let me know what type of changes you made, and we'll go from there. And lo and behold, there we go. So I went in on my time off to go fix a problem at work. Now, I am salary based and stuff, but it is what it is. But I still see myself putting value in my work. I really do believe that my job is not only important for human health but environmental health. I believe we are stewards of the land, and we need to. I mean, God put us in here to tend His garden. So that means we have to be conscious stewards of the land, of all its resources, including water and its waterways. Now, including its waterways, and it may not be the most glamorous of jobs, you know, wastewater or sewer, but I believe it is one of the most important jobs, and I believe that I'm adding personal value to this facility, even though it is something that was very simple to fix and stuff. Honestly, in my opinion, it was something very simple to fix. I believe I am adding personal value through my own insight about how to fix things and make this facility still run, if not still run correctly and run better than what it was previously ran before. I'm not saying the facility wasn't ran great before I showed up. My facility is one of the, from my experience in wastewater, is one of the better facilities I've seen when we get handed a project and stuff, but that's neither here nor there. But anyways, so I know it's been a long-winded conversation, but I feel as though this conversation honestly is a little bit of ways from the conversation I originally was intended for this video. Today I was actually just going to talk about doing what you have to do even if you have to work on the weekends and stuff, but it quickly derailed into adding, you know, what type of value do you add into your work and stuff. And honestly, I feel as though if a lot of people my age, the millennial generation, that is what we really strive for. Now, don't get me wrong, the monetary value has always been a great thing, but let's just face it, not everybody's going to be making, you know, 6+ figures a year. No, not everybody's ever going to be making that, especially in rural areas where I live and stuff. No, I mean, making 6+ figures in a rural area where I live without having to drive an hour and a half to a major city or something is very rare. And there's just not a lot of that happening out here. But it doesn't mean that what you do is or what you're doing is any less value to society and to yourself, you know? I mean, I truly believe, if you truly believe that what you're doing right now is adding value, not only to yourself, but to others, and to society as itself, to maybe the environment, if you're an environmentalist or something like that. If you truly believe what you're doing is adding value to something outside of money, to yourself, to others, to everything else, to society, then you can honestly look past a lot of the monetary gain that you can get from working at a different facility or different job career, or different company or something of that nature. Especially if you also enjoy the people you currently work well with. Yes, money will always be a thing, and let me tell you, you will always have that notion in your head. It's like, man, I could go fucking 20 minutes down the road and probably make $10,000 more a year if I do that. But what am I losing when I do that? I'm losing the camaraderie I've built with these friends. I'm losing my place that I've made, almost like not just a job, but almost like my second home, pretty much. Because let's face it, some of you guys, when you guys work, you're basically, work is basically your second home. Let's face it, work is basically your second home, because you're there at work just as long, almost just as much as you are at your house or with your kids or something. Now, let's just say you work 8 hours a day. There are 24 hours in a day. That is almost, that is almost a third of your life right there. That is 33% of your life, right? That is 33% of your life. It may not sound like a lot, but when you consider another 33% of your life is sleeping, that means you only have an empty 33% slot to do whatever the hell else it is that you do during the day, right? Which could be spending time with kids after work or whatever, things of that nature, whatever. But basically 33%, I'm just counting this for like the normal weekdays and stuff. I'm not counting the weekends. I'm just counting the normal weekdays. 33% of your life is at work, okay? Now, that sounds like a lot. It really sounds like a lot. But let me tell you, if you truly enjoy what you love, okay, and you truly enjoy, you truly enjoy not just grinding now, but you just truly enjoy what you love and stuff, and at the same time make some money with what you love, a good bit of money with what you love, that 33% becomes more than just 33%. And that's the difference between successful people, in my opinion. The difference between successful people and non-successful successful people is that they do not look at work as just work, as like a separate thing. They look at work as a part of themselves. It is something you need to do to live happy, and something to do to enjoy life for, right? Let me tell you, do you honestly believe that these millionaires out there that you see, these financiers or whatever out there that you see, or market realty people, car people, do you honestly believe that they hang up their time clock after 4 p.m., right? After 4 or 5 p.m., 9 to 5, whatever. Do you honestly believe they stop working from 9 to 5? Hell no. Do you believe that they stop working during the weekends? No. They're still doing it, but they do not see it as hard, or they do not see it as, God, what was the words? I used these words recently. They do not see it as hard work. Or they do see it as hard work, but they also enjoy it, okay? You've always been told you have to work hard to be successful. That is not true. I do not believe that is the whole part of that equation. Hard work does not always just equal success. okay? That does not, I don't believe that's 100% true. I believe there's more to that equation. I believe you need hard work plus enjoyment of work to equal success, okay? I've seen some people who work 60, 70 hours a week. You would think that they are successful in life. You would think that they are well off. I've seen these people, you know, it's like I don't know. It's like, I guess it's like the work hard, play even harder mentality or something of that nature. But that does not mean success right there. I mean, just because their work is 67 hours a week does not mean they're going to be loaded up with, caked up with amount of money and stuff. It just, especially if they're not enjoying what they're doing, you know. I mean, you gotta have thorough enjoyment with what you do, and you gotta have a lot more other things to go with it. But I believe that it's enjoyment and hard work, both those things added together, equals success and happiness. Success and happiness. All right. So I don't know. It's just I know I got a little sidetracked there, right there towards the end and stuff, but hell, I just wanted to talk about it with you guys and hang out and whatnot and say, hey, I'm back. I'm going to try getting up with some more of these vlogs and stuff. Hopefully next time it won't be so damn long. I know this one is a rather long video today, so I'm going to try keeping them short from now on, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe right down in the below there, and I'll see you guys on the next one, and as always, work hard. Peace.